Like I said, I'm here in Holland this morning, and the wind, well, that's kind of doing the trick, but I have some friends that are helping me, and it's kind of it takes all of us to clean up those leaves. So I'm joined this morning with Lauren. You're with the city of Perrysburg, and I have Matt with me for Lucas County.
Correct.
And so why is it important for all of us to kind of tag team to clean up these leaves?
So here in our urban environment, we have a lot of trees, and out in the forest, the trees will drop their leaves, they'll decompose, and they can stay exactly where they are, and it's great nutrients. But here we've built roads, we have houses, we have lawns, and we have to care for those and maintain them. So today we're going to be talking about the right way to take care of those leaves and where to put them. So Matt's going to demonstrate for us. We have here a regular road, we have our sidewalk. We have the area between the road and the sidewalk. That's usually called the right-of-way. That's where a lot of utilities are. And in the right-of-way, we can also have catch basins. So right here, where Matt is raking, we have a storm drain. And these storm drains, we have to make sure that they stay clear of leaves. It's really important that the leaves don't get in there. These catch basins run to our waterways, our creeks, our streams, and ultimately Lake Erie, and don't get cleaned on the way there. There's no treatment for that water. So if we let these drains clog up with leaves, then our roads can flood when we have rain events. That can be a real problem. But it can also create nutrients which are bad for the environment. So Matt's doing a great job here, and he's placing the leaves in exactly the right place. We want to put our leaves in between the sidewalk and the curb. We want to put it right here in the right-of-way. And the reason for that is to keep those pathways for the water clear. We want to make sure that we don't clog this up. We want to make sure that those leaves don't get run over by cars that are parking in the road.
Right, because that would be a huge safety issue. Even on a day like today, those get a little bit slippery.
Absolutely. It's slippery. It's harder for the crews that come and collect the leaves to actually suck those leaves up, because they come through with big vacuums and they suck those leaves up, and if they're all smashed down in the curb, it's harder to pick them up. So if they're here, it's easier for them to pick up. It's not a hazard in the road. They're off the sidewalk, and it's all over the best place for the leaves to go for water quality and for safety.
And when we're grabbing these leaves, just bring the leaves up. Don't grab the sticks and any of those extra long clippings, right?
Correct. We only want to be able to suck up those leaves. Those vacuums are not going to suck up sticks. You have a couple options for what you can do with your yard waste and your leaves. The first that we always recommend is mulch it. Run it over with your lawnmower. It'll break it up into a lot of tiny pieces, because leaves do create a lot of nutrients, and that's free fertilizer for your lawn.
Yeah, everybody loves when we're talking free and fertilizers, then you have that best yard in the spring. And then you were talking about, though, the nutrients, of course, that leaves have. And let's also talk about, of course, Lake Erie, algal bloom. This is, our drinking water. How do the leaves actually kind of come into play? We don't really think about that.
Right. So, if anybody's a tea drinker at home, you take dried tea leaves and you put them with hot water, and it creates a delicious beverage, right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm not a big tea drinker personally, but a lot of people are, right?
Let's keep us warm here during the cooler season.
That's right. So it creates a lot of nutrients for your body, and leaves are no different when they fall from the trees. They create a lot of nutrients once they mix in with the water. So I have a little example here of some leaves that have been sitting in some water for some time, to show, is this really what we want to go into our bodies of water? Do we want to drink this?
Oh, I don't think I necessarily want to drink that. That's a little too dark of tea maybe for me.
Yes. So this has a lot of nutrients in it, and nutrients are the major enemy to water quality. They're great for our lawns. If we keep the leaves on our lawns, it's good fertilizer. But this compost tea is fed on mostly by algae. And that algae in the summertime can create harmful algal blooms.
Okay. And that's how it all ties and comes together. And we don't really want, the algal bloom. That's a big concern of ours.
Absolutely.
So as our coalition here, Lake Erie starts here, the Northwest Ohio portion of it, this is a big message to get out there. Not only is this a public safety hazard, as we get a beautiful picture of all the leaves dropping down for everybody to see, the message is getting out there. Lake Erie doesn't necessarily start when we get out in the boating season in late spring. It starts here. Those algal blooms that we'll eventually see in late July, early August. You know, it starts here. United States Geological Survey performed a 2016 study saying that effectively if the residents and municipalities collect this stuff in a timely manner, typically within 2 weeks, getting it out into the right-of-way, that up to 80% of the phosphorus load that feeds our algal blooms will be eliminated. Now, that study was done in Madison, Wisconsin, but if we just did some of that approach here in the western Lake Erie Basin, there could be major improvements in the typical algal blooms.
Yeah, that's huge, and what a huge difference that we can make. So I know a lot of folks are going to want to be bringing in, you know, the leaves to the street. Obviously, not in the street, but in this right-of-way, as Lauren was saying. So what is the best advice to kind of know, okay, when is that vacuum going to come to my house? So then I don't want, the grass won't die, of course, underneath my leaves, but how do I know when that vacuum's coming by?
Right, so we recommend that people put their leaves out at the curb as close to collection as possible. And the best way to know that, each municipality is different. We're all a coalition of all of the Northwest Ohio governments, that we all have that same goal of water quality, right? But we all have different ways we do things. I can speak for Perrysburg. We have a leaf collection dashboard, and we post on there what part of town we are starting. So right now this year we started on the east side of town by Three Meadows, and we're moving towards the west, and we have a whole map which can show you which road our crews have been on, so that you can see, oh, they were just over there, they're going to be here next.
Coming. Awesome. Well, okay, best advice, make sure you're checking with your local towns, communities, municipalities, see when those leaves are going to be coming. Of course, remember, keep them in the right of way, keep them out of the street. We want everybody safe on those roadways, and also we want to take care of our drinking water. We are definitely going to want to give a little bit of love to Lake Erie. Of course, I'm here in Holland, and I'm going to hopefully be back with a little bit of weather, but I felt a few raindrops. So, Amanda, Steven, I'm going to send it back to you so I can check radar.
Yes, go ahead. Make sure that you stay dry. Really great information, though, because just to know, too, that the leaves, the nutrients that they can provide as well. So you can put them even like on your garden beds and things
really
like
cool.
that.
Yeah, so mulching them, it helps with the yard, and also making sure that we're protecting our drinking water as well. So really good information there.
Yeah, people will be busy, I think, coming up here the next few days, right?
Well, here's to wishing you a happy Wednesday from all of us here at Good Day.
When we come back, running off those holiday calories before you consume them, we'll tell you how when Good Day returns.